So, with the first instance, what we would like to discuss today is the deepening divide of religious faiths. Specifically, and we will talk specifically of the religion of Muslims and the increasing separatism from much of the world. Now, we wish to start by saying that there is a vast difference between religion, which is organized faith, and spirituality, which is inherent individual connection to that which is the source of which all men come from. There is vast difference. People can find spirituality through religion, or they cannot. People can find spirituality apart from religion, or they cannot. Religion is not a specific, definite path to finding spirituality. Nor is it a specific block to finding spirituality. But it must be said that the two are not the same. And when one tries to say that any specific religion is the only or the best or the fastest or the clearest or the newest or the brightest or any other kind of superlative path to spirituality, they are mistaken. Now, what first of all people have to ask is, why does religion, not always, but often, seek to separate mankind from one another, when spirituality is by its very nature the exact opposite? It is the connectivity of all mankind. Well, this answer is what alienates some people of religion, because religion was created not to serve spirituality, but to serve man of power. Now, please understand, we have zero interest in trying to upset in any way any person on planet Earth. But truth cannot be hidden for the sake of not wanting to upset some people. For some people, hearing this truth may find themselves hurt. And what we say is, take our love because we did not wish to hurt you, but at the same time, look around you and understand that for whatever reason, mankind and religion are not fulfilling its purpose of love. That's all we ask. Now, religion was not created in order for mankind to find its spirituality. It was created in order for mankind to be utilized, I will say, suppressed, I will say, channeled, coerced, demanded, persuaded into being that which persons of authority wanted them to be. Now, does that mean within each and every single religion that exists, there is not truth? Absolutely not. Does that mean that in each and every religion that has ever been created, there is not real spirituality to be found? Absolutely not. Does that mean that the people who follow any specific religion are fundamentally flawed? Absolutely not. But it does mean that one must begin to explore and examine the very nature of religion itself. You see, any organized body, and religion of all kinds is an organized body, has to be open to inspection, open to exploration, to be questioned, to be explored. Does this benefit mankind or not? Is this supporting the evolution of our planet or not? Is this capable of becoming something which could support the evolution of mankind or not? All these questions, debates, thoughts, ideas, processes must be applied to organized religion in the same way that they must also be applied to any authority, any governing board that wishes to, seeks to control, coerce, persuade, govern mankind of any type. The problem that we have is because religion has become so sensitized, and those engaging in religious practices have become so sensitive, all debate is gone. All valid questioning has been removed. Now, it is not our place to say religion is wrong. Far from it. Far from it. But we would say any board that discourages open exploration of its principles, its practices, its persuasions, its preferences, its ideologies cannot be continued. So, what we have right now is organized religion, all of which are old era energy, because by their very nature, they exist already. They were created in old era energy. Struggling to maintain its sense of authority, dominance and power, relevance even, in a new era energy where they will become increasingly irrelevant. Because as each individual wakes up to discover, explore, examine, welcome their own individual spirituality, the need of an organized authority to control that spirituality will be defunct. When people were reluctant to explore, discouraged to explore their individual connection to that which we will call love, then what occurs is a need for having that connection controlled by somebody else. When one is told very early on that that feeling you have of a need for something more can only be found, must only be found through this organized body or that organized body, then you see you have a need because you are spiritual beings. That's who you are. That's what you are. It cannot be escaped, ignored, because it's there. So as you want to discover innately what this is, you are taught very early. This organized body will explain it for you, show you how to enhance it, increase it, become it, how to express that which you are. Now that is fundamental to mankind. Being spirit, being spirit being is fundamentally who you are. That allowing of your spirit to be is fundamental to mankind. So when you are taught early on that this path will allow you to be the spiritual being that you are, you see, you welcome it, you encourage it, you follow it almost blindly, because it's innate within you to want to explore these feelings because they are who you are, what you are, that of which you are made. Now, with the new era energy, those feelings of being that which you are will become more and more and more essential in the just being that you are. They will not need to be explored. They will not need to be cultivated. They will not need to be examined, deepened. They exist for what they are. In that case, what you will find is that religion, as a prescribed path to explore that which you are, will become irrelevant, as is beginning, I will say, to happen now in many people's lives. Actually, what you are finding when you look at people's lives is that organized religion, compared to many years ago, is becoming more and more irrelevant. People's decisions, people's lives, people's way of living is far less dependent on an organized religion than ever before. Well, ever before organized religion was invented. So, what does this mean when you are confronted actually with what seems to be an ever increasing reliance upon extreme religion determining people's actions on planet Earth? Well, there seems to be a contradiction here, and we would say that there is, because the vast majority of people are finding organized religion less and less relevant in their day-to-day living. That is not to say that all people are walking away from their religious inheritance. They are not. This is not to say that people are stopping to profess a religion. They are not. But actually, in their day-to-day functioning, the morality choices they make, the decisions of what to believe, how to be are becoming less and less and less reliant upon the organized religion that they may be stating on the outside that they are belonging to. Now, in the past, this could not happen. In the past, you see, if you were of a specific religion, that was your faith, your religion, and all your thoughts or your behaviors or your values came from that religion. I would say this is not true anymore. You see, you can find so much evidence in the world to say that actually people will say, I am this religion, I am of this faith. But I also believe can be true. This is my truth. I will choose to do this and I won't choose to do that. Now, that's actually not blind following of faith. That has occurred in the past. So, most people, even if they are not declaring their religious inheritance irrelevant, are choosing day in, day out to make their own individualized path through that religion. Now, they are finding that this enables them to find some peace because they do not want to walk away from their religious inheritance, but at the same time, they cannot live by or find that the dictates of organized religions are fairly opposed to what is in their heart. So the changes are occurring without necessarily everyone saying religion is defunct. Well, if you look at what you are presented in the media, it seems that people are becoming increasingly entrenched in their extremist religions, and that actually most people are becoming more and more and more following blindly in the faith of a man-made, organized, old-era energy religion. This is not true. This is not true. What you have playing out before you in the world today is an awful lot of separate issues being funneled through the filter of entrenched, organized religion. You have a disaffected youth. Now, why do you have a disaffected youth? We will come to this in another discussion. But they are increasingly at odds with the old era energy. That may sound strange to say that in feeling at odds with old era energy, they are turning to extremists because they are becoming even more old era energy, if you will. But we will explain this another time. But there is a huge, what we will say, alienation between the new generations, which is going to increase actually, because their energies are further and further and further afield from the old era energy, and it's increasingly moving the planet forward faster and faster. So as that begins to occur, then the gap narrows and we will move into that place of harmony in time. But there is a widening disaffected youth. You have inconsistencies that are being played out in peoples of authority the world over. Saying one thing, doing another. Telling others to be one thing, being something else themselves. This is something that is fundamentally at odds with New Era energy, you see. Because New Era energy will simply be that which is. There is no, for want of a simple term lying in the new era, you see. So these feelings that what is being presented to us through peoples of position of power, authority, is not actually the truth, is increasingly undermining the peace and harmony of new era energy people, specifically the youths. So, what you also have in what is happening with entrenched extremists is that people are being persuaded that what they are experiencing on the inside, an awakening to a new era, is only going to occur through one path. Children are susceptible, whether they are new era energy or not. They are more susceptible, let's say, more susceptible. So they are being persuaded that all that they believe, all that they are feeling is in some ways a calling, you see. They feel the new era energy. They feel the passion of a new era. And they are being persuaded that there is perhaps a calling into this extremism that is obviously incorrect, but you can see that if someone said to you, all that you are experiencing is a calling to be X, Y, or Z, it's very tempting to believe that, to make sense of that. Let's not say everybody who is persuaded to become an extremist of religion of any kind is actually a flawed being, is actually a lesser being than the rest of you. This would be a huge mistake, please. Very often, believe me, very often, the actual ones who are persuaded into becoming the extremists are those very people most sensitized, most sensitive to the shifting of the eras, the changes of the energy. Is true, is fact. But in being so alert to the old era energy dying and the new era energy being born, they are more susceptible to the feelings that they have to somehow further the cause of the new era, and they are misguided and misdirected in their sensitive approach. So do not look at people who are becoming extremists and say they're monsters, because actually what we would say is that they are, for the most part, highly sensitive individuals who are misguided, misdirected, and able to be persuaded. So what we need to explore are those that are in position of authority in the extremist groups who are misdirecting, misguiding these sensitive youths. Well, they are, for the most part, extremely unawakened individuals, extremely separate from spirituality individuals, and those most entrenched in the old era energy of fear. When you have someone who is entrenched in the old era energy of fear, disengaged from their own spirituality to beyond compare, but brought up into a position of power to say that they have some kind of religious authority, well, then you have what is being played out before you today, the recipe for disaster. But it will not last. But it will not last. So do not worry. You do not have to fear extremists. Now, this is what we wish to say. What you have to fear is the fear within your own heart. If each and every individual, instead of focusing on the fear externally from them, and simply work to remove the fear that existed within them, in their own lives, in their own day-to-day there would be no fear externally. This is another concept we will explore later down the line, but is a fact. Now, how do we move forward? Well, the first thing we have to stop doing is alienating people, separating people. The more you distinguish people, the more you define individuals as that and that and that, the greater the opportunity for divide, the greater the opportunity for hate, anger, and extremism. So we would say that what is occurring today is occurring because of, in the first instance, the shift to the new era. You see, religion has been tolerated for a long time with its man-made doctrines that say do this, be this, and yet is not itself, cannot exist. Religion has been allowed to become superior to individual spiritual truth. This cannot exist. And religion has, by its very own self, become that which it cannot be if it is to be a guide, if you like, of spiritual nature in the new era. So we say, let's start welcoming exploration of religion. Don't fear it. If you are religious and if you believe in a specific religion, don't fear others questioning, examining, and exploring your faith. Welcome it. Because you then have the opportunity to find an even greater truth, either within or without your organized religion. Welcome debate, but not anger. Welcome people questioning something that perhaps you have unquestioningly absorbed that is not to your best interests, not to mankind's best interests. You see, the more you define yourself by your religion, the less you define yourself by your being. This cannot be good for mankind, because mankind is not a religion. Mankind is a being. Always, always put mankind at the top, never your religion. You are not defined by, you should never be defined by your religion. You should make your religion be defined by you. You be that which you are, and then claim the religion, if you choose, to be a representative of all that you wish to be. Don't say, my religion is this, this, and this, therefore that's what I must be. That cannot exist in the new era. For each and every individual will find their own truths only as they begin to explore that which is in their own heart, and things that they have been brought up to believe in, if you wish, but that do not sit comfortable in their own heart, cannot be followed, you see. It has to be explored in order to be changed. So don't fear exploration, examination, questioning. Never, ever fear that. Welcome it, and welcome the chance that it brings to deepen your own understanding of spirituality, of spiritualness. So, at the moment, you see, you have people, whether with good intentions or not, trying to demonstrate that people of a specific faith, and as I said, we will be blunt here and let's talk about the Muslim faith, because this is what is being presented in the media all the way over. People with the best intentions trying to say, here is a positive face of Muslim. We say, don't try this. Don't try this. Just be a positive man. Be a positive woman. Be a positive person. And then let the religion follow that. Don't try and spin, because you do not need to. If your religion is to survive into the new era, it will have to become a religion that is merely a follower of all the goodness that is in mankind. Not that mankind will choose a religion because it is representing positivity. This is cart before the horse. So, if you are a follower of a religious faith, right now you are feeling misheard, you are feeling judged. Do not allow this to take you deeper and deeper and deeper into your own faith. Take this opportunity to become more and more and more and more and more the person you wish to be, first and foremost, irrespective of religion. Then what you will find is your religion becomes an explanation of the person that you already are, not a determiner. We say that we believe the crucial thing that can happen to all people of religion is to understand that their religion was man-made, not spirit-made. This is hard for some people, but it's the first crucial step to lessening the divide. When each and everybody understands that all organized religion was first made by man, and we say this with love, then you can understand that there is no need to be so certain that each and every path that you have been told is the only path to spirituality is correct. Because your path to your spirituality lies within you, not within an organized body of faith that was man-made. So extremism on the outside will cease to exist when people cease to feel extremism on the inside. As the new era comes through, more and more and more, people will disregard religion as a defining characteristic of who they are. They may not leave the faith that they have chosen. That's their choice and there's nothing wrong. But what they will cease to do is they will cease to define themselves by that. Because as religion becomes so extreme from that which they were brought up to believe in, they will find that they naturally start to shift in their consciousness of defining who they are. So look around you at what is happening in the world today. People becoming more and more fearful, becoming more and more entrenched in their own views of what their religion is. Again, this is a sifting of the old era energy, people holding on tighter and tighter and tighter, thrown in with a whole load of other issues that are occurring at this time. And you find yourself in a situation where people are able to be persuaded to be extremists. But this will change. This will change. In many, many, many years to come, there will be no religion. This is a fact. This is a fact. But we are talking a long time. For now, what each and every person must do is, first and foremost, remember their humanity. Remember their humanity. When you seek, first and foremost, to define yourself by your religion, you have lost touch with the idea that you are everybody. You are everybody. You see, what you witness on the outside is what is being on the inside. So when you find yourself separating yourself, defining yourself more and more and more, you are losing your connectivity to mankind. So don't seek to define yourself by your religion. Be the person that you want to be. Be the voice that you want to be. Be the light that you are. And then if you wish, let your religion follow up behind that so that it can ride on the tails of the being, the human being that you are. Don't make religion the definer of your personality, because religion was man-made and all religion was man-made in old era energy. Let's move on. Let's move on into the new era with open arms. Whether you choose to practice your faith or not is irrelevant. You be the person, the human being that you want to be. You take the choices. You connect with all mankind. Connect and connect and connect. From compassion, from the heart, from the soul, from the love that you are. With all mankind. Every single one. Yes, even the extremists. Connect first. Connect first. They are you. You are them. There is no separation. Connect first. Then if you still wish to be the religious faith that you have been brought up into, that's fine. Because that religious faith can then follow on behind you and be allowed to evolve and adapt into the being that you are, rather than being the religion that defines the being that follows it. With love.